Hello and welcome to another video tutorial by me, Jay Kilgore. You can find this video tutorial and others on my blog, www.jaykilgore.com. That's www.jaykilgore.com. This video is being brought to you today by a couple of my sponsors, Photogenic Strobes, www.photogenicpro.com. I used a Photogenic CL500 continuous hot light to light this picture. I just put it camera left through a window into my studio, and I just went ahead and shot it. Excuse me. This video is being created, or my mouse is actually not a mouse, it's a Wacom pen tablet. It's Intel's 3 6x9 tablet. It's majorly awesomely cool tablet that I recommend everybody pick up. I can't live my life without it now that I'm used to it. This video is also being brought to you by another one of my sponsors, the National Association of Photoshop Professionals, or NAP. You can visit them at www.photoshopuser.com. I actually have all these links written out so you can see them without having to worry about me typing them all out. This right here is my blog. I cover things such as other tutorials, how to create your own photography stuff, other video tutorials for Photoshop, and all these other cool things. ColoradoSupershoot.com is my model photography workshop page. I have Photoshop classes, modeling classes, photography classes, you name it. Photogenic Pro is the webpage that is of the company who are my lighting sponsors. Photoshop User is NAP. These guys, if you're not a member of NAP, you should be. And Wacom.com or Wacom, depending on who you are, is the people who provided the pen that I use day in and day out. Cannot say enough great things about them. This video is, in my opinion, the most important thing that you can do when you're editing photos. But it's also going to be probably the shortest video that I've ever created. It's basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this picture. This model right here is Jenna. Jenna came in yesterday, literally yesterday. We did just a quick shoot. I had a private one-on-one session, and she stayed after for about an hour, and we just got some images for both her and my portfolio. Jenna's a gorgeous young lady that I can never say no to. So when she brought it up, how dare I say no? What we did was I set up a Photogenic CL500 strobe, a continuous hot light, put it, like I said, outside, shot it through the window, camera left, so we have the intensity on this side, and we got the shot. Being that Jenna is young and I don't know, young and hot, I guess, she does have some imperfections on her face. Although she's gorgeous, she's human. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this image. When we're done, the image will look like this. If you take a look at the face here, there's nothing on here at all. It looks pretty good. But this is what the image looks like straight out the camera. What we're going to do is we're going to create a new layer. It's Command or Control J. This will go ahead and create a brand new layer for you. You can name this whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Skin Retouch because I have enough time, because this video is already almost over. What I like to do when I'm retouching the skin, before I start to retouch the picture or do anything else with the picture, I'm going to go through and clean up the image, because I clean up the face and the skin, because anything that's on here is going to affect how the retouching of the rest of the picture is going to look. This is a glamour beauty type shot, so the emphasis is mostly on her face, so we're going to need that to be pretty much spectacular. Here's the overall image. You should feel honored. You're the first person to see it. Like I said, straight out the camera. So, hey, so you are going to get to walk through one of the first and most important things that I do. When it comes to retouching the skin, I always use the spot brush, spot healing brush. I used to use the heal tool, the heal brush tool, but what you're going to notice is that you're going to have to alt click to define an area that you want to clean up. So every single time, whoa, we got some funky stuff going on here. So every time you have to do something, you want to do something different, you have to click and alt and do all these wonderful things. If you're working in a pinch and you just don't have time to do it, that's not going to work. So what I do is I use the spot healing brush tool. But I zoom in on the face. I want to see what I'm working with. This was shot handheld, so there might be a little bit of blur, but that's something that we can take care of in another photo or in another video. There's not a lot of blur, so don't worry if you zoomed in and you're like, oh my god, it's blurry. It's really not. It's just I set all of my defaults on my camera to absolutely nothing, to all zeros, so when you're looking at it, you're just looking at an unsharp image. And like I said, there might have been a little bit of camera shake. I'm not entirely sure, but I can guarantee you when we're finally done with this image, it's going to be fantabulous, if I am to quote a friend of mine in Chicago. Haha. So we're going to take the spot healing brush tool. The reason why I like to use the spot healing brush tool is it basically does what the regular heal tool does, but you don't have to click the alt key every single time you move over into a different area. The spot healing brush tool will take a look at what you're sampling, what you're doing, and it'll sample what is the closest to the area that you're working on. Being that this is a beauty shot, a glamour shot, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of anything that I think would be a hindrance to what would make this photo that much more appealing. Like I said, although she's an absolutely gorgeous girl, she does have some imperfections because she is, well, human. So we're just going to go through, help her out. The reason why I'm doing all of this is because when it's time for me to go on and do my color correction and get everything set up and going, this will save me so much more time to do all of this now versus trying to do a color correction and then go back and clean up the skin afterwards. Just do this all. Now this is the most important part of retouching in my opinion. So this is something that you don't really want to skimp out on. This is something that you're going to want to spend a fair amount of time on, retouching, making sure everything looks good and that everything is set to go. In a situation where you're coming up on something that you're not entirely sure you want to get rid of, what we'll do is I'll find something. So we're going to do a Control J to create a layer. This is just a quick down and dirty way to make a new layer. We'll say that what we're going to do is, I don't know, I'll find something here. We will take her smile line out. So we're going to take this out, get rid of it totally. Now remember, this is a crass and crude, so we're not going to spend too much time on making it pretty. I just want you to get the idea. So here it is without, there it is with her smile line. So say that you decide, everybody when they smile, they kind of have that little crease. What you can do is come up here, you can drop the opacity, you can add it back, but you can add it back so that it's slightly there. I usually like to stick around 50%, anywhere around 50 to 60, maybe 45%. So you can add it back, but it's not so dominant. And there we go. This is pretty much what I would do to an image. There's her smile line. There it is, gone, but it's kind of there. There's the picture straight out the camera. There's our skin retouching. If you take a look at her forehead area, her nose, it's gone. This is before, straight out the camera. This is after. Take a look at the smile line right here. We didn't get totally rid of it. We just went ahead and lightened it so it's no longer the focal point of the picture. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, feel free to visit any of my sponsors right here. Tell them that I sent you, and they'll think that I'm really cool, and I'll think you're cool for doing